Very good, friends. Hi, Doc South. Well, I'll tell you what, I wrote another story. Not a book, but a nice little story about life in in North Carolina. Yeah, I think you're going to like it. I've been working on it a while. I'm also going to put it out in written form on my email site. Yeah, so I'll email it to some of you. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to read it. Okay, if you don't mind. Yeah. Okay, this might be someday part of a book of the adventures I had when I lived in the Carolinas back in the 70s. Yeah, in the 70s and early 80s. Okay, so shall we start? Okay, it's called The City Garden. And this is part one of, oh gosh, what I guess will be about 6, 7 parts. You ready? Here we go. The City Garden, part one. I loved living in the South, North Carolina in particular. The folks there are they're all just like me, crazy, crazy in the old cabeza. They're always up to something cooler than heck, and in most cases, even a Yankee like me is more than welcome to join them in their mad endeavors and passions. The even wilder thing is that when a Tar Heel has something really wacky going on, he or she is more than happy to invite friends over for a peek or two. Well, here's a case in point, all about a fellow rescue squad member and friend named John. Besides being a squad member, John also worked at the city sewage treatment plant. Now, don't hold your nose like that. No, no, no. John never smelled bad at all. Oh, maybe once when a sludge line ruptured near his workstation, but other than that, he never stunk any more than you or me. Of course, on a hot day in March, when winter was finally over, he'd get ripe just like anyone else. Oh, and his shoes might need an airing out now and then, but really, other than that, no one ever complained much. No, minor BO is routinely overlooked by polite Southerners once summer starts, sometime around the Ides of March. From then on, it just can't be helped until summer ends about a week or two before Christmas. Gunner. I was new in the city, of course, and the Southerners in true form had the welcome mats out, well, full force. Guys wanted me to meet their sisters and maybe take her to a movie or something. Some of the single women were having me over for dinner. Some of the guys had boats when there was fishing to do. Gas station attendants were holding beer and deep fried smelt parties out back of the station. It might only cost $2 for all the fried smelts I could eat and all the beer I could drink. They had a campfire and the yarns were expected to last until midnight. How could I not park my car and head around back of the place? Of course, we didn't break up until a few minutes before sunrise. That's the South for you. Like I said, John worked at the sewage treatment plant. He'd been after me to come out to the plant and take a tour of the place. Much as I wanted to go, well, we were into the middle of April by the time I had a 3-hour break in my social calendar. John forgot and forgave he forgot and forgave all that and was pretty tickled when I saw him at the squad hall and told him I could come over tomorrow, Saturday morning at 10. He was so happy that he even went and bought me a ice cold Coca-Cola right out of the soda machine. With the money I saved, I returned the favor and bought us each a pack of Lance peanut butter cheese crackers. That was our way of sealing the deal. Later that day, I was busy. I was busy back home out on the front porch grilling some hot dogs. Well, I wasn't that busy, was I? I was just grilling some hot dogs on my hibachi when my housemate Huang came in from work. He was a former South Vietnamese Navy lieutenant. He was serving on one of South Vietnam's destroyers back when the end came for South Vietnam. His ship heard the news and turned toward San Diego. They never looked back. Huang said he and his crew would have been killed right on the pier if they had tried to come ashore. They all decided it'd be a better idea to join a convoy and make the United States their new home. Huang was a university professor at a college in Saigon before the war. He majored in chemistry. Now in the States, he worked as a lab tech in the city sewage treatment plant. He knew John quite well. Like me, Huang lived alone in his half of the twin duplex we both shared. It was kind of like half a bungalow each. Huang came over to my side of the porch and offered to trade a bowl of something that looked like some type of chow mein for one of my hot dogs. Whatever it was that he had didn't smell half bad, and even if it did wiggle a bit, I went for the deal and we sat together on the porch and enjoyed supper together. I told Huang that John had asked me to drop by the sewage plant in the morning. I told Huang that I was hoping I'd get a chance to pay him a neighborly visit in his lab. Huang lit up with a great big grin. I think I made his evening. He probably didn't get folks dropping by that much. He was all smiles at the good news. Well, we each had a tale or two to spin, and Huang told me about his kids. I told him about mine, and at least I knew that, God willing, I'd see mine in a month or two. Huang, I figured, might never see his two kids ever again. We had a beer or two more, and I hit the hay over in my half of the bungalow. Huang went over to his side of the house. Sometimes at night I could hear him crying himself to sleep. Some nights he could hear me doing the same thing. It got better later that year when we both found us some hot girlfriends. And there you go, friends. That's part one. We'll do part two. Well, we'll give it to you tomorrow, okay? We'll see you later. Thank you, and well, God bless. Bye now.